Morning guys, this is my first video for Mike Scott's Feast Fest challenge. He's running, I'll put the link in the description below or to the side depending on what you're watching the video on. He's running a challenge for the month of July where he's going to try and paint up a whole swarm of Tyranids, the whole swarm box that GW do. So first and foremost, good luck with that, Mike. Big challenge, hope you do it. And he set out a challenge with as a competition for the rest of the community to either paint a Tyranid or base a Tyranid or some Tyranid terrain, or some rules and how to with models. So I'm going to hopefully take part in each one of those categories, but today I'm going to give some advice with 7th edition. Obviously it's only recently landed. I've played half a dozen games now with my Tyranids. I thought, yeah, I'll show a video on my flying Hive Tyrant. It's the go-to HQ, is a flying Hive Tyrant. It's probably the best one out there. I equip mine, as many people do, with two twin-linked Devourers. Obviously you pay the points for wings. Comes in as an expensive model. Some people will put other things on, indescribable horror, maybe regeneration. The points just start getting out of hand if I do that. So this is an expensive warlord that in effect hardly does much. He's a synapse creature with 12 inches, and obviously now with the way the psychic powers work, you will always get Dominion, so you'll always be able to roll to cast that extra 6 inches to your synapse and get 18 inches. So with him being a winged monstrous creature, obviously he can move 12 inches if he's just on the ground, but if you put him swooping rather than gliding, he can move between 12 and 24 inches, and that's all you want to do with him. If you get first turn, you're safe. You just get him straight up into the sky and he stays there for the entire game, pretty much. If you don't get first turn, then you might want to hide him, where you're going to get some sort of cover save, whether it be from a venom throw, whether it be from a building that you can hide him behind. Because whilst he's on the floor, he's only got a 3-up armor save, he's only got 4 wounds. So when you're spending 220, 250 points on a model, you just don't want people getting into him. Now, you get him up in the sky, as I said, so he'll then be flying high. Man's not finished painting yet. He needs all the details putting into him. You literally just pick your targets, and you will obviously follow the flyer moves, so you can move up to 90 degrees each time, and then fly off the next one. So think about how you're going to land. Think about where your next move's going to be before you land your guy. Fly over somebody, as long as any point of the model passes over another model. So it's not the base, it's these wings. So if this wing passes over somebody, you can vector strike. Now vector strikes are being nerfed massively. You only get 1 hit now rather than D3 plus 1 hits, but they are AP2. And it's always on side armour on a tank. So if you fly over a rhino or anything like that, then at strength 6 that his vector strikes are, you're only needing a 4 to glance a rhino. If you get a 5, you've got a penetrating hit at AP2. You could potentially explode a rhino. If not, then you can take a Terminator out. You could take a weapon unit out. It's all random allocation with vector strike as well, so you can't just sort of say, alright, well, it's the guy from the back, so I'm taking your missile launcher or your las guy out. It does become random, but he's worth a crack anyway. And then what you've got to remember is he's got a 360 degree fire arc. It's not like a tank or a flyer where you've got to have line of sight as in view. So if you land, let me grab, it's 3 Marines. So even if you land there, you can vector strike the unit, or you can vector strike a different unit, and then you can still shoot them. And these 2 twin-linked Brain Leech Devourers, they're 15 points a gun, so it's 30 points just for the 2 guns. But they put 6 strength 6 AP dash hits out each. So you're shooting 12 shots. They're infantry killers. You can use them to glance the hell out of tanks. If you can get onto the rear of a rhino, again, you're only needing 4s to glance it, and you can glance the hell out of vehicles. Obviously, if you're in the sky, you can shoot flyers with them. Again, strength 6. If you can get to the rear of a flyer, then you're going to glance the hell out of that and bring it down to the sky. They're just lethal. Behind their AP dash, but weight of dice says that people will fail saves on them. And all you do is just keep them in the sky. There's no point in bringing them to the ground, because if you bring them to the ground, you can't charge. So you don't want to throw them into combat anymore. And there's just no point. Just keep them in the sky. And then maybe on the very last turn, or on turn 5, if you're a bit unsure as to whether the game is going to continue, obviously, and you're stretching for points, you fly them into the enemy's deployment zone, drop them onto the ground, and he can score line breaker. Important to remember, he can only score line breaker if he's on the ground. Any flying monstrous creature that is in swooping mode is not a scoring unit anymore. Also, to throw into that, they all have the jink special rule. All flying monstrous creatures have jink special rule, so if you want to, you can jink. Now, you wouldn't, because you've got a 3-up armor save, unless somebody's shooting at you with AP2 weapons, well, AP3 or better weapons, and then you might consider jinking then. They've still got a snapshot to hit you, etc, etc, but it's your choice with that one. But yeah, that's how I use a flying Hive Tyrant. Just keep him in the sky, don't use him for any combat, that way you can't get bogged down with combat. And he just flies around, puts a vector strike on, might just take a wound a turn off with that, or a glance or something a turn. And then other than that, those guns, 12 shots, absolutely lethal. He's mastery level 2 for his psychic powers, so sometimes you can get some good powers off. Failing that, you'll always increase your synapse range, and he's quick enough that you should always be able to keep synapse within your army then. And then if you can get psychic scream with him, then you can land your model sort of. Again, if I crudely use typical army, you might have an army that's set out like that from a marine point of view. If you can sort of drop your guy in, land them there, it's a 6-inch bubble psychic scream, so you'd get 3 different units that you're attacking there, and then you can still shoot a different unit in your shooting phase. They're absolutely lethal. Just keep them in the sky. That might be quite obvious to some of your Tyranid players. And if it isn't, then I hope I pass something on to you. But to the guys, the likes of Mike, who are looking to get into Tyranids, it's just how you use them. That's my go-to option. So, yeah, thanks for watching the video, and please like, comment and subscribe.